Hello.
Oh, nice. Boom. Right on time. Shalom, everybody.
How are we doing, guys?
Guess what? I'm on camera right now.
How's it going?
I love you. We'll talk later, son. Yeah. welcome to Cigars and Whiskey and kids asking me questions about stuff they can get. I'm like, I'm on camera, son. I love you. Gotta go. Hilarious.
Look at Cigar
What's up?
Mike.
Another beautiful whiskey, must-see whiskey TV on Thursday, 8 o'clock. I'm out here in the backyard heating it up, baby. Trying to get it in so we can blow one in the breeze and have ourselves a good time. So glad to see your face again. What's up, Sailor? How you doing, darling?
I'm good. I'm outside as well.
Yeah.
I actually decided to do it in I call it the Shipwreck deck. I've got a little barn that my wonderful husband built for me on my back deck. So that's where I am tonight. And
way to go, Robin.
I am so excited. It's actually, we got rain for the first time since July 1st this morning.
Really?
So,
Damn.
Isn't that crazy?
Well,
so it feels
it's
really,
looking good.
Really good.
Yeah, heck yeah. That's pretty good for the PNW. You guys are used to rain, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh, no, not here. We're on the other side of the mountain, so we're on the desert side. It's
oh,
when
okay,
you get
all
towards the coast, you've got the rain all the time. So we're like the exact opposite.
Gotcha.
Hi, Mike. Are y'all connected up now? Can you hear us?
Yeah, man, this is cool.
Can you see me, Mike? Can you see me with them glasses on? What's up, Stevie?
Hey, wait a minute. These are rose-colored lenses, Jay. Right.
Rose. Oh, that's sexy,
Rose
Mike.
colored.
Good job, brother.
I
Go
paid
ahead.
$3 for these, Jay. I got these for today.
Gotcha. All right.
Now I look at the world through rose-colored lenses.
Rose-colored lenses.
That's right.
But I'm
That's right.
And it's because of Uncle Nearest. Yes.
I love it.
Gotta look good. Gotta keep them shades on.
I think you look awesome. So
thank you. Thank you. You guys are pretty young, but I used to watch Saturday Night Live, and on Saturday Night Live, Billy Crystal, and Billy Crystal would play this character, and he said, "You know, it's better to look good than to feel good, and you look marvelous.
You look
absolutely
marvelous.
That's
right. Who was that? Fernando. What was the name? Fernando Lamas.
I forgot. That might be a real. No, that's Lorenzo Lamas. I'm sorry. That was the. That was
Lorenzo
Lamas.
Yeah, Lorenzo Lamas' daddy.
Lorenzo's hideaway.
That's his daddy.
Right. Right. And don't let him know you said that because he'll kick you. Remember, he would kick people with motorcycle boots on.
Oh my God, we are showing our age right now.
You don't want to spin a back kick to the head with motorcycle boots.
For some reason,
we're on here.
StreamYard's been a little funky, and I haven't been able to see comments rolling right away. So, if you guys
I'm going into.
Yeah, anybody that's watching, just apologies. This happened last night, and it took a few minutes, and then they kind of all came in. So, as soon as we're able to see I can see the comments, I will definitely answer you. But we are doing two very special things tonight. And as you know, every Thursday it's Must See Whiskey TV with Jay and myself, and once a month we get together with Cigar Mike, and we puff on a different cigar, and we learn about it, and we talk about the flavors and the profiles. But tonight, we are smoking a very special cigar, and I've been doing a ton of research. And in my research, I'm telling
like normal.
A ton. Like a ton. I found huge similarities to the process of making cigars to the process of making whiskey. And it was like mind blown, right? So I am excited to talk about that tonight. I'm excited to talk about the similarities and things that I had no idea about. Like, there we go. Mike's back.
There we go. So I'm excited to talk about that, to learn about that. I'm really excited to drink. Sorry about that. But then also too, I'm really excited to, because I smoke a cigar once a month. And so this is my guilty pleasure for hanging out with Cigar Mike, man. Good gracious, man, you're such a great influence on me, bro. I appreciate it. This should be fun. And it's hot as heck outside. I mean, it rained earlier today for a quick bit, so now it's a little bit humid. And I got a fan down here, so I should be okay. I should be all right. I should be good.
Well, I've got a beautiful cocktail that's going to cool you off. Even
you ain't lying.
El Fuego.
El Fuego.
El Fuego.
Heat it up, but it'll cool you down. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be a sexy cocktail.
So
nice.
How do we,
very nice.
Mike? How do you want to do this tonight? So I was thinking, should we sip on a cocktail, and then my puppies are outside, the neighbor puppies. Then I am doing a broadcast. Don't you understand?
I don't think so.
Always.
Not be
I forgot to put my light on. Boom.
So,
there we go. Check that out.
So do you want to sip on a cocktail while we talk about the stuff that I learned about fermenting tobacco and all of that, and then talk about the cigar? Okay.
I want to talk about fermenting tobacco.
I was so excited when I learned this. I was like, oh my God, you guys, it's just like whiskey. And people are talking to like, I don't know what you're talking about. So, shall we? So you guys all have the cocktail ingredients. Am I correct?
I do right now.
Okay.
Yes. Go.
All right.
Hey, my sister's on. What's up, Belinda? Yes.
I wanted to create something
Amber.
that would pair really well.
What's up, Amber?
All right, you guys, do you have your cocktail shakers ready?
I am. Yes. Okay. Yes. I tweaked mine. I'm gonna use this tonight.
Oh yeah, perfect.
Put my thumb on that.
All right, let's start off with Uncle Nearest, 1884.
All right.
So this is, Jay, do you want to talk about 1884?
Well, of course, you know our 1884 is our other expression. We have 3 total, and 1884 is our small batch, which has been barrel aged 7 years. It was curated by the lovely Lady Victoria Edie Butler, who is the great granddaughter of none other than Uncle Nearest himself. And so the bloodline is in the bottle, baby.
Boom,
so
right
we are
here.
Telling the story and spreading the legacy around the world. And I forgot to mention, thank you for everybody tuning in. I'm here in Georgia, just in case y'all didn't know, representing Atlanta, Georgia marketing manager. And the big thing is, if you look around, you'll see a few billboards with my brother's keeper with talking about the having your mask on, make sure your mask on, and fam. And yesterday, our second commercial. It's an airplane. Our second commercial aired, and it's in all markets. It's around the freaking country. Somebody told me they saw it on when they were watching ESPN, watching the Laker game yesterday.
Yeah, me too. I got a text right before we started.
What?
Today.
That's bananas. So
today, I just saw Uncle Nearest commercial. I'm like, that's right, you did. Woo-woo.
No doubt. So tune in and check it out. 1884. Let's get cracking. Sailor.
Okay, 1.5 ounces of 1884. And you guys, this recipe is in the original posting. I'll go ahead and post it again in the comments at the end so that you can. And this lives forever on YouTube on the Plum the Rock channel. So you can find the recipe there to follow along again. So 1.5 ounces of 1884. All right. So I chose 1884 because I wanted that butter and caramel and like banana bread flavor to go with this. And then
so good.
I make my own plum bitters.
Hey, so crazy question. How did you measure out that 1.5 ounces of 1884, by the way?
What do you mean, how did I measure it out?
What instrument did you use?
1.5 ounces.
Yeah. I don't know. Oh, you don't have do you have the Uncle Nearest jigger?
I didn't. I have things have to match. It freaks me out if they don't match. And I'm using my copper stuff tonight. So
go ahead. All right, must be matching.
Let's not make this complicated. I'm so sorry about that.
Sing it, doggy.
Oh my God! Now he's gonna get in trouble. You're never.
This is real. This is real.
So I make my own plum bitters, but Jay, if you don't make your own, you went out and bought some.
You know me.
Got the Fee Brothers, right?
Yep. Good old Fee Brothers. No, boom, close enough. We're good to go, baby.
So
me and Mike were chasing that down.
Of plum bitters, okay.
1 teaspoon, probably like what, good 7 or 8 shakes.
Yeah, that's about. Yeah, I like to go heavy on my bitters. Then the special ingredient, which, okay, guys, are you ready? My tobacco bitters are for sale again. I only have one case to sell. Boom. So
that's it?
One case. I keep blowing through them so fast.
Yeah,
I can't make them
that'll be gone by the night,
so,
Sailor. Damn it.
This is my tobacco. I'm sure. This is my tobacco bitters. And it's a higher proof bitter, and it's made with baking spices. And we've actually used Ponderay tobacco that comes from this area. So super cool. Pacific Northwest. And so again, you know, I'm gonna do like a heavy 7 to 8 shakes so that you get about a teaspoon of the tobacco bitters. And of course, we want that tobacco flavor in there, right? Because we are pairing it with a cigar tonight. And then,
there it is.
One of my favorites, my favorite aperitivo, is Puntimas.
How much fun do we have trying to find this, Michael?
My goodness.
Really?
Loads.
We're on the whole other side of the liquor store, and I'm around in the section that I'm thinking is all vermouth, but the vermouth was over by the sodas. I was like, oh no, that didn't work.
Oh, that's weird.
Yeah, so we finally found it. Yes.
So do you guys smell this? Do you smell the raisin? And it's so much prune and fig in there.
That's some serious dark fruit right there.
I'm looking to pair that fig and that prune with the plum bitters. So and again, I'm trying to match some of these notes that are in the cigar. So this is the way my brain is working with this. So again, we're going to do a tablespoon. You don't want it to take over the flavor of the cocktail, right? Okay. So we've got all our components in there, measured out. We have scotch, but we're gonna hold off on that for a minute because we're gonna use that as a float. Now, before we do anything else, we have to light our cigar because we need to smoke our glass. Dun, dun, dun.
Dadgummit, Mike, looks like you got to go to work.
I'm gonna use. I want to be fancy tonight, just because. And I'm going to use a cocktail glass, but you can use a rocks glass as well. So I'm going to go ahead and, as per Mike's instructions, I'm going to cut my cigar the proper way.
Oh, let's get this close.
Right.
Come down so you can see me go. You lay the. Can you see? Lay.
Okay.
Come back this way.
Lay it on the cutter.
There you go. Lay it on the cutter. Open it up. Lay it flat. And El Chapo. Oh, that ain't gonna work. We need a little bit more love on that. There it is. I had it upside down. There we go. Where's my camera? There we go.
Should be perfect.
That works? Get down.
Okay. Now
like
I'm gonna light.
Ben's watching.
Jay, do you want to show us how we are lighting?
Yes. What is it we say, Michael? We do it at about a 45-degree angle and toast this baby up.
Toast the foot. All right, right here. All right, then.
Toasting the
little
foot.
Cherry on the bottom. And.
Toast it. There we go. That's 45 degrees.
Hello, Ben. Ben from Don Kiki's on here. My manufacturer's on here. He says hello to everyone.
What's up, Ben?
Hello, Ben.
All right. So I want to get nice.
Ben, I owe you something. Ben. I ain't forget about you. I know you. Hey, one of my homeboys on here. Aronde. What's up, Aronde? I see Tammy's on here. Hello, Tammy. Team you in.
Hey, Tammy. Oh,
Dion said, good evening, everyone. What's up, Dion?
Okay.
Wanda.
Cigar crew.
Caroline. Oh, yeah, there we go.
You guys remember how to smoke the glass if you don't have a glass smoker, which most people don't have at home?
Let's pour a little bit of that water. There we go.
I'm using one of our beautiful Uncle Nearest coasters. Just a cardboard coaster, easy to use. And just go ahead and make sure you get a nice smoke in there and stick the glass on top of it. The easiest way to do it. I'm going to put it underneath there and then trap all the smoke. Once I see it building up, you just trap it underneath. Boom. Okay. So now my glass is smoking. All right. So now I can go ahead and add ice to the mixture that we already created. We're leaving that glass off to the side. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to shake our cocktail.
Ta-da. Let's see you right there.
Wanda from Miami's on here. They're watching us they're watching us in Nashville. Sam and Terry are watching us in Nashville. And they're watching us in Clarksville. Alicia. Who else is watching? Amber and Felicia. And Dion. Memphis crew.
There you go. Shout them out, Michael. Shout them out.
Yeah. Shouts out to the G-Spot in Memphis, Tennessee.
That looks delicious.
All right, Jay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Is your glass ready?
Smoked up. Can you see? Does it look smoky?
Okay, I'm going to flip it over. And you're going to strain your cocktail into the glass. And what I like to do is like move the coaster over slowly so that I'm still retaining, you know what I mean? So you're almost like a small lip there.
Okay.
And then you're going to, all that smoke is actually going to go into that liquid. Okay. Move all this stuff out of the way.
There we go.
Then, so I have my coaster back on the glass. So it's still, the smoke is still trapped in there with the liquid.
Okay, get in there. All right, coaster back on. Okay. Yes.
Cool. Now we go for some scotch. If you're a scotch drinker, and choose whatever you like. I like to do, I am not a peated scotch girl. I do like soft Highland peat. So like sometimes I call these scotches like half peated. Because I don't, it's too much for me. It's like a wet, musty sock. Blech. So,
don't like the moss.
No, not so much. So I go, one of my favorite is Highland Park. And I go for the Highland Park. I'm just obsessed with what they do. Also, the Balvenie Peat Week is absolutely beautiful and phenomenal. I love that. It's a little pricey to top off a cocktail, but the Highland Park is so great. So I'm going to use this as a float on top. And this is definitely a boozy cocktail. If you love the flavors and you feel like you really like it, it's too boozy for you, you can add a little bit of lemon juice to bring that down. But I like it just as it is to stand up to that cigar. So I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of scotch.
Oh, there you go.
And I'm just going to float it on top. That means I'm just going to go ahead and remove the coaster and just add it to the top. Boom. There you go. That's it. There you go. And so when you put your nose in the glass, there's so much smokiness in there. And then you're getting all these ripened stone fruits. Oh my gosh, that's so good. It's almost like a liquid cigar.
Let's see.
So yummy.
That's a grown woman drink right there.
Yeah.
That's a nice sipper. I like that. I do taste the strong fruits coming through when you like you're talking about with the fig, with the plum.
Okay. Yes.
That's good. Then the tobacco is on the back. I taste that with my palate being but yeah, I do taste that. That's nice right there.
Awesome. And are you getting any of the, I just feel like the scotch smoke and the tobacco smoke are kind of defined differently when I was testing this out, and I liked that. It's like it's 2 different smoky types of flavors.
It's like of course the I guess that blends so well with the Uncle Nearest. Like I mean I get the sweetness of course on the front. Then I start to feel the flavors with the plum and the and the fig and the and of course, coming from the puta mas, and then on the end, that's when I have the smoke. The smoke is at the end. That's wild. That's an array of flavors. Wow.
I took a cornucopia.
Cornucopia. That's how we do it.
That is the El Fuego. So again, the recipe is posted here in this original post, and I'm going to post it in the comments at the end. This video lives on the Pound the Rock YouTube, so you can go back and watch that. And of course, you can ask me questions. And my tobacco bitters are going to go fast. So if you want some, just reach out to me through DM on Facebook.
Catch up.
And without further ado, Mike, you tell me if you want to talk about your cigar first, or do you want me to go through the stuff I learned about cigars?
I want to hear the stuff you learned. Wait a minute, okay. I gotta give a shout out, Big my man. He came and hung out with me and Kenyatta today on the lanyard. We call him the Godfather, Mr. Jerry Waters. So shout out, Jerry. Appreciate you coming through.
Right on.
Hello,
What's up, Jerry?
How's it going?
I got to meet the Godfather when I come to
Heck yeah.
Do we have to kiss his ring, Mike? Did I do that? Yeah. We got to kiss his ring, though?
I don't know. Jerry, do we have to kiss the ring? You can see it. You don't have to kiss it.
You can see it. Oh, you don't even.
No, say it.
Wow.
I like that.
Okay.
I like that. Hello.
Look, we even went out and got an ashtray, you guys.
Ah, sweet.
I'm like legit now.
That's the one thing I'm missing is an ashtray. Yeah.
Yeah.
This will work out.
So
there we go.
You guys, I want to tell you some of the cool stuff that I learned, because if this is the first time you're tuning into this, I have done lots of cigar and whiskey, events, things like that, and so smoked some cigars, but really didn't know what I was doing or what was going on. So ever since we've been doing these shows with Mike, I've been learning along with Jay about, just everything that entails a cigar. And there's so much to learn, just like with whiskey, right? So
yes.
I wanted to share with you a few really cool things that are very similar to whiskey that I found out, and it just absolutely blew my mind. So, okay, first thing, cigars are an all-natural and artisanal product. Even though that's like buzz terms, it's true. So cigars are made from one thing and one thing only: tobacco. Pure, unadulterated tobacco. Not a single leaf is chemically treated or artificially altered for taste.
Sounds like whiskey.
Bourbon cannot be adulterated. So everything from the flavor to the color is achieved through natural means, just like with whiskey. Certain whiskeys, I should say. So with a bourbon, we cannot adulter the flavor or the color. So there's your first similarities. So
no additives or preservatives.
Yes.
All natural.
Okay. So also,
it comes from the earth.
This is much more than with whiskey, but there are 200 pairs of hands that touch your cigar before it makes it to your humidor. How cool is that?
At least.
They may even be higher. At least, yes. May even be higher. It is literally the ultimate handmade product, and that starts from the seed all the way to the wrapping, everything. So I thought that was really super cool.
Wow.
And then here's the part that blew my mind. Tobacco undergoes fermentation. Does that not blow your mind? So do we.
As a distilled spirit, yes.
So, okay, in the tobacco industry, it's more of a microbial fermentation as opposed to adding yeast to create fermentation, right? So it breaks down the leaf organically through the use of water, pressure, and oxygen. So no alcohol is produced. All that would be so freaking cool. In tobacco
juice. That would be delicious.
So cool.
Yummy.
It'd probably kill you though. But the process releases heat as it changes the chemical composition and physical traits of the leaf through humidity and oxidation. So this process, what it's actually doing in lay terms is it's affecting the flavor and the smell of the tobacco. It makes it less astringent and reduces bitterness while bringing out more floral, nutty, and sweeter aspects. right?
Nutty. I'm eating almonds too. This is gonna work out great.
So similar to whiskey.
Yeah.
So the fermentation is fairly simple, right, Mike? It's a simple process.
And there's actual heat. Like they'll go in and they'll flip the leaves from time to time. And if you are in or near a fermentation room, you will smell like it's not ammonia, but it'll be like a very, very deep smell of ammonia in there, and it's coming from that process. It admits it's no ammonia; it's all natural, but your sense will remind you. You go, oh, what is that?
That's so cool. So what I was reading about, and I've talked about this previously. I lived in an area of Connecticut where they grew shade tobacco, and I would see these barns as I would drive to work. And so what they do is, so they cure tobacco in a barn, and then the leaves are arranged into large piles known as pilones. Is that right? Did I pronounce it right? Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. And the only thing that's added is water. And so the weight of these piles produce pressure, while the enzymatic and microbial breakdown produces the heat. Mm-hmm. These piles, they check them every day, and they monitor the temperature. And so the old process, what the process I saw and asked about, is they would monitor and regulate the temperature and the moisture by opening and closing the long slats on the side of the barns. It looks so cool. And
so you just sit in there like a rick house.
There you go.
That's that. It pours right out of my mouth, just like a rick house, right? So you're putting your barrels in there.
Real quick. What is a rick house? What's a rick house?
So a rick house is the barrel warehouse. So it's a wooden barrel warehouse, typically. It's a beautiful site. So it is a beautiful site. Some producers use non-wood barrel warehouses. It's really just up to your own preferences. But the majority of them were in our wood, and they're called rick houses. So you have a similar process going on. So when the temperature of these pilones reaches a certain point, the tobacco piles taken apart, they rotate them by hand, and then they reassemble them. So again, hands from
there's the 200 hands. Mm-hmm.
I mean, seriously. So, like with whiskey, now you can drink whiskey that is unaged. It's very hard to find. There is some beautiful, specifically rye, very gorgeous whiskey, but the aging changes the flavor and gives you a different product, right? So not only is the fresh leaf aged before it's rolled into a cigar, so I was like, that's the part that's getting aged. It doesn't stop there. So a newly completed cigar, in most cases, is sent to an aging room where the tobaccos marry and the humidity levels of the cigar can stabilize. This is so amazing. Like, I had no idea. And again, the similarities. So
it definitely sits there and ages. Not like 9 or 14 years like us, but for a little bit.
Wait a second.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Mike, say it.
There's tobacco that's aged for up to 20 years.
Shut your mouth.
Aged for decades. For decades. Yeah. Yep. So the perfect aging is achieved when you bring a cigar to its peak of flavor, just like with whiskey. You're checking those barrels and pulling all the time, and then when it's at its peak flavor, you're like, boom. So it's when it's most balanced and cohesive, and then also like the bitterness and harshness, it's gone. Just like with whiskey. This it's flavor forward, it's smooth, it's ready to go. So cigars can be aged for decades as long as the temperature and the humidity are stable throughout the process. So when I learned all of that, I was just like, oh my God, this is incredible. And it's such synergy with the whiskey. So I wanted to share that with you guys, just in case some people are watching who are also new on their journey like I am. And then, of course, I went down a huge rabbit hole, which we don't have to do, but I'm going to ask you some questions, Mike, after we talk about your cigar, because I was going down the rabbit hole of like the ABCs, the 101, and Cigar Aficionado had some great information, like what all the colors are. So I learned that there's 6 major color grades, okay? And so I had no idea. And it's funny because I was on Instagram and someone posted a cigar with Uncle Nearest, and I was like, what is that cigar? Because it looked green. I'd never seen anything like that before. And I was like, oh, is that like a wrapper? Well, then I learned.
Rapper.
It's one of the 6 major colors.
It'd be a Candela or a Claro.
So there's Claro, Colorado, Natural,
Claro,
Maduro, and Oscuro.
And Oscuro.
Sorry.
Oscuro.
I had no idea. What any of this meant. And I mean, it's funny because so the Claro is light green and sometimes called a Candela. Yes. So it's not super popular, but it's like it would be like finding our 1820, I guess, right?
There you go.
Then there's the Claro, which is a light tan color, and that's the shade tobacco tense. And apparently it's neutral flavor, so that's if you want to stand out filling. Then there's the Colorado, which is brown to reddish brown. Again, that's shade grown, but that has a rich flavor, but not big aromas. Then there's Natural, light brown to brown, and that's often sun grown. Then Maduro, which is a Spanish word for ripe, and it refers to the extra time you need for this to get to this color. But it's said to be oily and silky. And I'm excited to get to the point where I can tell the difference. So that's like a challenge for me. I want to know when I can go, oh, this is a silky, oily feel, or this is a dry feel. Like, that's like a cool thing to achieve, right?
Right. Well, it's literally a feel. It won't be difficult to you. You'll be able to look and go, oh, wow. And you'll touch the wrapper. Some you'll even be able to feel the oils on the skin of the wrapper.
So it's more of a physical feel than a mouth feel?
Yeah, no, it's a physical feel. You'll be going, oh, wow, look at this. And,
okay, gotcha.
Amazing construction.
Thank you, Sailor, for all the knowledge droppage. That was dope.
I was just so excited to find out about this stuff.
I just thought cigars were tobacco rolled up. I had no idea it's so similar of a process that whiskey or bourbon goes through, which is crazy. I mean, and the fact that 200 hands can touch, I mean, it's, I really had no idea. This is eye opening for me. I'm just like, hey, a cigar is a cigar. Me being a novice, not really getting into the stuff like I have been in the, not really being in it in the past like I am now. And so I appreciate you taking the time to drop all that knowledge right there. That was very informational, hopefully educational. And then we're gonna add some entertainment because we got to get ready to talk about Mike's special cigar. We've been on this thing almost a half an hour, and we don't even know what the heck we're smoking. Mike, what the hell are we smoking, man?
Yes, what are we smoking, Mike?
Rose-colored glasses, Mike.
I think he's frozen.
Smoking it.
There you are.
Glasses. So what you're smoking is the brand Especiales by Cigar Mike. Yes, Especiales by Cigar Mike. It's manufactured in the Don Kiki factory, thanks to Karen Berger and Mr. Ben Visario. Thank them ever so much. And the cigar is it's a Nicaraguan cigar, and don't be afraid. A lot of people think Nicaraguan means really strong and it's going to be overwhelming and all this stuff. No, that's not the case. So it has a Nicaraguan filler, Nicaraguan binder, and Ecuadorian Maduro wrapper. So it's going to be very smooth. For most people who smoke a few times a week, it's going to be about a medium. If you smoke less than that, probably Jay Sailor, it might hit you at a medium plus. But
I think from
not an overwhelming
the range we've done already, and then some of the beautiful cigars, I've been getting cigar presents, you guys. I cannot tell you how much I love our viewers and our community. So I've gotten all kinds of things that just show up in my mail, and they're cigars, and I'm like, this is so exciting. And so it's helping me to learn. So I'm starting to really understand the strength levels, I guess. I don't know if that's the right way to say it. So
there we go.
We talked about, Mike, last time, the different soils. So you said, okay, so explain why people go, oh, that might be a strong cigar. What is it about that origin that typically happens?
Well, when people say a strong cigar, it can kind of get kicked around a couple of different ways. It's the level of strength. Some people equate that to the level of pepper that you might get from a cigar or something like that. Mm-hmm. And that's not necessarily true. So there are some cigars that are extremely smooth, but very strong, which is like a bourbon. You can drink a really, really smooth bourbon and like, oh man, this is great. And when you go to stand up, ooh, wait a minute now. Didn't know it's see, smooth.
Like 100 proof, but really, really smooth. I get it. I totally get it. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I'm sorry. Continue, sir. I'm sorry.
So that is one of the misnomers. Another one could be the complexion of a cigar. And people look at a cigar and go, "Oh, that's dark. It's going to be too strong, or that's mild, or that'll be too light." So here's the thing: you have to ask and give a description of what you want to do with that cigar and where you are in cigar smoking to your tobacconist. So if you see a yellow Corvette and a red Corvette, which one's the fastest? You don't
Neither
know.
one.
They're both the same, right?
You got to know what's under the hood.
Right.
So
okay. Gotcha.
Oh.
Got your point.
Okay.
So you can see a very light, let's say a Connecticut shade cigar, and go, oh, that's mild, and it'll tear your head off. It's straight, full strength cigar under there, and you can see a super dark cigar, very rich, really oily, and go, oh my God, that's gonna knock me out. And it's almost like smoking a Hershey bar, just very smooth, very clean.
Oh yeah, okay,
yeah. So there are definitive differences in damn near every cigar that you can smoke. So the best thing is to read about it. If you want to smoke something, you can read about it. You can ask somebody who smokes it. You can go in and talk to your tobacconist and say, hey, I see that you don't have this cigar, but have you ever smoked it or have you read about it? Tell me if you think I would like that cigar. And that in turn also helps them with what they're gonna order, they're gonna buy. If they know people are wanting that cigar, and then they go, okay, well, I'll tell you what, a couple of other people have asked about it. We'll get some in, and at that point, maybe you guys can have a tasting, with the cigar and perhaps some Uncle Nearest, and try it out.
Perhaps. Okay.
Yes, it's good to
so that's very much, again, that's a similarity. The similarities to whiskey. So, you get a bottle of whiskey, you can immediately just Google it, and you'll see so many reviews on it. And taste is subjective, and reviews are subjective. But so I usually go through like six of them, and I'll just really like scan them. And if I see similarities, I'm like, oh, okay, then I totally get that. So then I kind of base it off of that. But then what's interesting, and we talk about this on our whiskey shows a lot, and this is already happening to me with cigars, is your taste, so your palate's going to evolve. So you might have thought in the beginning, oh, this tastes like this. You got to go back to it again, because as your palate evolves, your taste is evolving. You're gonna have.
Uh-oh.
Oh, I'm sorry. I had this.
Where'd that come from, Mike? Jeez.
Didn't notice
out of nowhere.
I didn't notice that bottle of 115.1 proof.
Oh, Mike! What are you doing? Mike, why? Why would you do that? I see it. It's over halfway gone, bro. What the heck, man? I do.
It's been delightful.
Truly, you keep it close to you.
All this
Mike,
talk,
you know what? I would love to do this sometime. Sorry.
Thank you so much, but thank you guys so much for this. Like I super appreciate it and what you went through.
Got you, bro.
You've given us so much. You've given, what you give to the community. We've learned so much, and we have so much. I have such a good time doing this show.
So I keep it in a holster strapped to my chest. And walk
I was going to say that, but I didn't want to say the word. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, you keep it close to you like a good friend. You know.
Like a hip flap.
That's it.
There you go.
But no, what you're saying, and I love the fact that you're making the correlations between cigars and bourbon, because cigars and whiskey and most fine distilled spirits, you will find a lot of similarities in the way that they're curated. So we're actually enjoying this kind of melding of the worlds, so to speak.
I love it. I'm learned. So what I thought we could do would maybe be fun is when we get to maybe like we do 2 more. And so I kept all my notes. I know everything that we've smoked so far since the first show, and then we'll go back and I'm going to try it and do like, I think it would be fun for us to go back and then smoke each one again and then figure out.
Oh, that's an idea.
Right? Have our taste change. Which Uncle Nearest would go best with which. I think that would be so much fun.
Well, I think the fun part of that would be that
the doggies like it.
Taste and your palates have grown and they continue to grow. So yes, initially I made the pairing and I said, okay, well, this would go well with this. But now you guys are able to go, but I think I like this one better with this Uncle Nearest and why. And that's the most important thing. Why you like what you like.
Right.
That's the most important thing. Because it's going to vary from person to person.
Exactly. And this is something that we go through in our tastings. And I get asked constantly, what's your favorite other than Uncle Nearest? Everybody always loves to ask us that. Other than Uncle Nearest, what's your favorite whiskey? And I say, well, what season is it? Am I eating with it? Am I having it in a cocktail? Am I drinking it neat? What category are we talking about? Are we talking about American whiskey or Irish whiskey or Japanese or Scotch? What are we talking about? And I feel like that is the same thing with cigars. And then also I can be in love with something and someone else can taste it and go, gross, what is this? And it doesn't mean I'm right and they're wrong.
Or they could go, that's the worst one. When they go, you're like, what are you talking about? Are you nuts?
I would rather them say they hate it. That's so true. Like that is like, have a passionate feeling about it, please.
I see my buddy Jay, our buddy's on here. Tex Rover's on here. Ron Ford, the Bay Royal Cigar Network. Ron's checking us out. He's in the San Francisco area, and I'll actually be on his podcast, his Zoom tomorrow night on the Bay Royal Cigar Network. But he's a big fan, big supporter of Uncle Nearest as well.
Oh, the Memphis crew. That's part of the Memphis crew where you're going to? Is that 2 weeks or next week?
No, I'm going to Greenville.
Greenville's this weekend. Then next weekend is Memphis, right?
I would love to go to Memphis because Amber's celebrating a birthday.
Okay.
So leave.
COVID times. Yeah, sorry about that, man. Sorry about that. Yeah. Virtual love is how we get down. Virtual love is how we get down.
But if I can't make it, happy pre-birthday to Amber.
Hey, Amber, happy birthday. I see we have someone on here. I guess it's Rich KRC. That's what I'm thinking. I'm making a wild guess. He said, can you get Uncle Nearest whiskey in Pennsylvania? So here's the deal, Rich. Yes, you can. Number one. Number two, if you would like to, you can actually go on Uncle Nearest website and order it online and have it shipped to you. Or you can go onto our website also and put in the click on the find link, FIND, of course, find. Click on that. Make sure you check mark the 1884 and 1856 and then type in your zip code and hit on there the search and it'll tell you where you can find it in Pennsylvania. Hopefully it'll be close to you in the town, either whether, I don't know what's going on COVID-wise in Pennsylvania, or whether you go out for a bar or restaurant, wear your mask, Uncle Nearest mask, or, go to your liquor store, which will be close to you, brother, for sure.
Also,
so that's a little info for you.
The other thing, too, people ask us all the time, because they go into the liquor store and they don't immediately see it. You can just ask them to bring it in. We are distributed through the entire country. So it's a simple thing. Most people don't know how it works. I didn't until I got into the
all
business.
50 states.
All 50 states. You just simply say, hey, can you please order Uncle Nearest for me? And you say Uncle Nearest 1856 or 1884. That's all you have to do, and they'll bring it in for you. It's very easy.
Oh, okay. Look at Kate Lynch getting in there. Go ahead, Kate. Yeah, tell them. That's right. Also, too, the other, we use the different services too in some of the liquor stores. I know Drizzly's number one. We just got on with a new one down here in Georgia. Yeah, Reserve Bar. Thank you.
Reserve Bar. Yep.
Yes, Reserve Bar. So check out those two. They're good delivery services who can go through the different liquor stores that are close to you, or package stores that are close to you, and bring it to the house. So that way you stay safe, stay in place,
also call
and keep it moving.
Store and ask them if they are delivering, because some of them in the states where it's legal are delivering independently, and so are your bars and restaurants. If your state has changed their laws due to COVID, they're allowing them to sell packages.
Thank you, Georgia.
Meaning the whole bottle.
Yes.
Thank you, Washington. Some of the bars and restaurants can sell you a full bottle now. It has to be closed. And then like a little cocktail kit with it, which Uncle Nearest accounts do. So that's another way to get Uncle Nearest to you. So we're trying to make it possible to get these bottles to you any way we possibly can, other than shipping them from an airplane into your backyard.
Right.
Or the drone.
Oh.
So that would be the only thing I would say. Hey man, shout out to my freaking governor Kemp. Other than that, you're a freaking nutcase. That's just my personal opinion. I'm sorry. But thanks for passing that, so we can do delivery of beverages. Yes. Right. But please, man, put some daggone stuff into place so we can stay safe and get rid of this freaking COVID once and for all. Damn it.
I think he's trying to kill us. He wants us to be able to have a cocktail first. Before
right.
Drink.
Yes. Drink heavily, and then hopefully that'll knock out the COVID. But no,
you won't know.
Please, folks.
You'll
wear your mask.
We're not doctors. This is not official information.
No, absolutely not. This is Jay talking nonsense and craziness in his backyard, and Cigar Mike hanging out on Big Bertha, and Sailor out in the backyard with their dogs, tearing it up. You know what I'm saying?
They're not even my dogs. These are the neighbor dogs. They know I'm going to give them cookies.
Tell
Robin go over there and smack the dogs.
They're the ones of Uncle Nearest.
Mike is giving us a disclaimer, legal disclaimer. Thank you.
Thoughts and opinions.
Can you do doggy treats?
They're the ones of Uncle Nearest.
Right.
Robin has been giving them doggy treats.
Precisely. I was about to say, Robin, hey, dip the doggy treats in some Uncle Nearest. Done.
Then they'll go sleep for a little while.
20 minutes later, they're gone.
Go.
Hey, Anthony Zillman's on here. King Cigar Lounge is watching us and drinking Uncle Nearest at the same time.
Yay!
My man, King, right on. So Tex asked, "Are you delivering cigars, Mike?" I just want to throw that in there real fast. Tex asked.
I will for Tex. Yes, I'll deliver for Tex. Oh my God, man! You know what I'm saying? You
That's right.
I'll deliver anything to Tex.
Yeah,
we right on. We go way back.
We go back to like October, I think. Yeah,
No. It was August. It's almost a year. Good God, this is flown by.
Man.
We gotta have a reunion, Jay.
We need to have a reunion of the Founders Tour. Yes, something like that. It's gonna definitely be outside. Better believe it.
Yeah.
Social distance.
Yes.
With Uncle Nearest band. That'd be wonderful.
Yes.
So, you guys,
Jay, what do you think about the smoke, Jay? Talk to me.
Yeah. I wanted to ask you guys about the notes.
You're right. Put me on the spot. No problem.
One thing we haven't gone over right now is the tasting notes of this specific cigar.
Well,
what do you think?
I do feel you in regards to the mild. Like it didn't hit me hard, so I do like that part. I like the way it is. The burn on it is good too. I mean, I don't know if that's actually a term, but I mean, I like to pay attention to the look of it, how it's burning. It's burning evenly and cool. I don't know if that's even something, but from a novice standpoint, that's what I like too. It doesn't make me freaking choke. Sometimes you could smoke something and it could like really tear you up. This is a mild, cool cigar that is definitely good for sipping.
This is the review from Jay Madison.
I'm just saying.
And I want to talk about
you got Mike, an expert. You got Sailor, who's like in the middle, and then you got me, who's like completely like, okay, I'm smoking cigars because I like to look cool. So my palate is not as sophisticated, but I'm here for comedy relief, and I can tell you whether it's good or it's bad. And this was a good one. This was definitely good, not just because it's you, Mike. You know what I'm saying? You cool, but. I'm not gonna give you a plug if it ain't working. But this is definitely a good smoking cigar, even if you just have it by yourself. But it goes well with the Uncle Nearest, that's for darn sure. And almonds.
Can you read all that?
Mm-hmm.
Almond. Do you get cappuccino?
What'd you say?
Cappuccino.
Cappuccino.
She's saying
hold on now. Wait a minute.
A little bit of cocoa-esque kind of. So Jay, I'm gonna translate in an unbiased manner what you said. So
walk me through it.
So you said it's a good burn, which is something that us as cigar smokers are concerned about. We don't want it burning fast or up one side or down one side. So yes.
Check for Jay. Okay, good.
That's very consistent. The other thing that you said is it's cool, which is very important. So if you'll take your cigar, turn it upside down like this, and hold it right down. No. Hold it down here by the flame. Right.
Oh.
You see how you can do that? So when you're able to do that, that means it's not burning hot. Some cigars will burn hotter than the others. So remember, if it's hot from here to here, that heat is coming toward your mouth, and a lot of times that will affect how long you can smoke the cigar. So if the heat comes, if you're getting down by the band and that heat's getting very intense, it's going to be about time for you to put that cigar out. But if the heat still stays the way it is and you're up by the band, that means you're able to continue smoking that cigar. And for me, I like to smoke everything I paid for. So it's just, it's one of those things.
Go all the way down. Right.
So those are the two.
There are a few of us in here that understand exactly what you're saying from a cigar standpoint and other stuff. Good. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Right. I digress.
But essentially that's what you said. I'm just translating what you said. So you brought up two very, very good points, very, very good things that cigar smokers would want to know about a cigar, especially prior to purchasing. They want to know, is it a nice slow smoke? Does it burn evenly? These are questions that we would ask to another person who's had that cigar.
Okay.
So Jay, you know more than you think you know.
See? I'm telling you, I'm learning slowly but surely. Right. Yeah, it's not all just jokes, folks. Sometimes I drop a little knowledge in there. Even though I have no clue when I drop it.
You know your stuff. You do too. Come on now.
Sailor. Yeah. Crazy things. Okay, so two things came up. So Jerry said when you get here, your godfather said when you get here, he's gonna tell you, because there's a story behind the ring. And the ring's over 30 years old. So he's gonna tell you a story about that.
What?
Yes.
Okay.
So the second thing is, so we're sitting here, and Sailor, I have all the stuff that you sent me, and Jerry just took all the stuff that you sent me, the bitters, the sesame tincture, Sailor's cherries, and he made this amazing Manhattan, and we're gonna send you the recipe for it. It's delicious.
See? That's why I sent you that stuff.
That's why I hang with the Godfather, though. You gotta, you know what I'm saying?
Isn't that sesame tincture so awesome?
The man's good.
The right people. Mm-hmm. I mean, because let me tell you, when I opened the box and I said sesame tincture, I have no idea. I didn't know if I should rub it on my forehead or something for good luck. I had no idea what to do with sesame tincture.
I love it.
I grew up with having sesame seed buns. I have sesame seed buns, and that's all I got. So thank you very much for exposing me to. We're all learning here. It's not just you guys.
Exactly. Is that so fun? Isn't it so fun?
This is amazing.
Sooner or later, Sailor, we can figure this stuff out. We're gonna get together with Mike. I'm gonna have Mike making freaking cocktails. We're gonna really push him to the edge and have Mike making cocktails. Right. Right. See, now you see how I feel. I'm like, I'm about to sit up here and smoke cigars.
Sales are gonna drop 40%.
No.
You can't afford.
Oh no.
I don't want to
can't stop, won't
from
stop.
Juan or Victoria.
Okay, so this is what we're gonna do, Mike. Next show.
All right, what are we gonna do?
Since
Next show.
You have taught me so much about cigars, and there are steps to lighting it and smoking it and how you keep it and all of that. This is similar to cocktails. So Jay and I are gonna go through with you next time some of the basics. Just like, some of the things that are, like when do you shake or when do you stir? There's a very easy answer to that. When do you serve it on the rocks? When do you serve it up? For example, I love whiskey sours, and it is the most messed up cocktail you can possibly get out, right?
Wow.
So I'm actually in the middle of writing a book about them. Can you believe that? One cocktail, but it's one cocktail that is like, oh my God. So you don't want to put it over ice. That's me. Because you've got egg white in it, it'll make the egg white do weird things. So we have all these things also about cocktails. It's just once you get the basics and you get like proportions, and you know, like you always want to have your sweet, bitter, sour components, and then your spirit. Simple. And then like just like we're doing with cigars, and then you'll learn to like, oh my gosh, you know, now I can add riffs on it, and I can, what if I add this, and what if, and that's what it comes down to. Just try stuff. You know, there really isn't, there's not a college for this. You're not getting a PhD. All of us mixologists just learn from trying things and tasting things. And I guarantee you the cocktails I made the first 5 years of my career were
screwing up things.
Not great. But also your palate develops too, right?
Right.
And your understanding of the ingredients. So just like you said, Mike, ask your tobacconist, do you know anything about the cigar? What I like to this is the flavors I like. Do you have something to suggest? Same thing with a cocktail. You know, your mixologist, the person behind the bar, is really your expert, just like a barber or hairdresser. Or your dentist. You're not going to say, oh, let me tell you how to clean my teeth. You're going to say, please do your job. You're the expert. And that should be
or your makeup artist.
Your bar.
You know.
But tell them, don't be afraid to say, here's what I usually drink, here's what I like, but I want to try something new, and these are the absolute things I don't like. That gives us so much information, and then that's how you can try new things. And if you don't like it, I'm telling you, most mixologists will go, that's all right. We'll toss it out, make you something else, because we want you to be happy. We want you to have a wonderful experience.
That's priority number one. I just want you to have a nice drink that you enjoy and take down. Yeah, from that standpoint, I don't want to sit up here and force anything on you. My palate is not your palate, so therefore, I want to make a cocktail that you enjoy, that you like, and if you like it, then I'm cool. I can care less. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to force anything on you at all. You're trying to have a good time.
I tell you what, though, as an expert,
unless it's Uncle Nearest.
But as an expert, right, just like anything. So the smartest thing I could do, let's say Mike is in the cigar lounge, and I go, hey, Mike, would you choose a cigar for me? I'm going to have a better experience, I guarantee it, than if I went in and go, I want that. And Mike's like, well, tell me a little bit about what you like. Nope, I want that because I know I like it. People do that with cocktails as well, right? The best experiences that I've had with customers is when I say, let me make something for you. And I ask questions. What's your favorite scent? What's your favorite food, savory and sweet? What's your favorite flower? You can actually figure out someone's palate based on those simple questions. And boom, I feel like, okay, I know what I'm going to make. It's so much fun. You can do the same thing with whiskey. If those people who get to work in whiskey libraries, it's so fun to be able to say, you know, I've never tasted, what do you suggest? I've never tasted this or that. It's just learning.
I mean, we've talked about that before too. I mean, in the same respect, Mike, when you talk about when you're talking to some of your clients, when you're talking to just people who just tend to walk up on you when you're at a cigar lounge, and they'll ask you about, you know, what should they smoke? You gotta ask them a few qualifying questions and stuff like that, kind of feel them out and see what they're going for. That always helps. I mean, same thing with us as bartenders. I mean, it's just trying to make a match, you know, and you might get it right the first time and maybe not, but you just keep on trying. And now the main thing is make sure somebody's pleased. And that's why I really truly fell in love with Uncle Nearest, you know, of course, nice little plug, but that's why I fell in love with Uncle Nearest, because the whiskey as a whiskey, it is a great whiskey to put into cocktails. It's so versatile. It has the strength, but it also has the flavor, and it also always comes through in the cocktail and just really blends well with whatever you're doing. So, bam, that's mine. So,
I've noticed that about cigars.
Well, what we're doing is we're all playing into the experience. That's
there you go.
You know, there you go. You go to a cigar bar, and you want to have an experience. So you want the drink to match the cigar, to match the ambiance. And I mean, realistically speaking, if you have those things working cohesively or conjunctively, no one thing has to work that hard.
That's a great point.
Doesn't have to be the greatest cigar. The drink doesn't have to be the greatest drink. Everything is together, because that person at that point can go, hey, I remember that Uncle Nearest because I had it that night when I was at Highland Cigar Company, and I had this cigar with it. So it all works towards that experience. So and that's what we're all here for. You know,
that's a great point.
Like a cigar bartender. I'm a cigar bartender.
A cigar bartender.
A cigarista?
Cigarista.
Yeah.
I would say tender. I think tender is.
You like tender?
Because they have to hold on.
Mark, are you more of a tender guy? Is that what you're trying to say, Mike?
Well, after this, I'm going on the swipe right tour. So when I leave. So, oh, wait a minute. We're talking about something else. I'm sorry.
All right, very well. Right on Uncle Nearest.
Swipe, all right, swipe right.
I got confused. Swipe right on Uncle Nearest. That's
yes.
It's more like.
There's Dorna. I see Dorna just popped on. What's up, Dorna?
What's up?
Yeah, there you go. Same thing. Like if I show up anywhere and I see Cigar Mike, I'm like, dude, I have no freaking clue. Shoot something for me, bro.
He just sits down and go, okay, yeah, whatever he said. All
right. Right.
Right.
Right.
Just like if a restaurant has a real
Sorry.
Yeah. Right. That's the same thing we do, Sailor. Like, we have our regulars, our folks who come in, or when we be in the bars and stuff like that, they're like, whatever, what I like, and literally I make up a daggone cocktail off the top of my dome based upon the flavor profile, and I know what they like. Yeah, just that's how we roll.
And those are my favorite customers. And you really get to stretch your creativity and your thought process. And I have created some of my most incredible cocktails from people literally going, you know what I like, make something that's not on the menu.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, and I make it, and then I taste it before they taste it. I'm like, whoa.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. You know me. Silly. Yeah, right. God. I never remember what the hell I make. It's so crazy. I'm terrible at coming up with names for cocktails and trying to remember what the heck I made. But I know I'll taste it. I'm like, woo! I kicked some butt on that one, baby. You're gonna like that one. And they're like, what you put in there? I'm like, shoot, I don't remember.
That has video. You ask the boss. I had to go back to my manager once and watch myself make it and write down.
Oh heck. Yeah. Okay. Sure. I'll try that in the airport next time whenever one flu stop opens back up. Hallelujah. Yeah.
Jay, I hate you, Jay, because you're the bar. You make me the great stuff, and then I come back a week later and go, "Hey, the drink that you made me, make me." And, wait,
dude,
what
seriously.
It was in a glass, right? I remember it being in a glass.
Right. It was kind of. I think it had some lemon juice in there, maybe, or something. I could have sworn that maybe something. They're like, literally in the airport, there are so many people that have come in. It'll be like months later, even years. But I'm like, I came in here, you guys made a cocktail. I'm like, are you freaking serious? Like, there's no clue. I have no clue what you're talking about. You made it for me.
Write it on the napkin. Write it on the napkin, Jay. This legit happened to me a couple of years ago. A bartender that I had, she's a nurse now, love her. I had written down my Bloody Mary recipe, my margarita and Bloody Mary recipe, because I was training her and I was like, don't use what's on the menu. It's garbage. Trust me, use this. And she still had the napkin. And so she tagged me.
Not garbage on the menu.
They were total garbage. All of a sudden, all these people started tagging me with pictures of cocktail napkins where I wrote the cocktail on it that I just made. And so
that's awesome.
A little bit of this and I think I did this much.
Right. Right. What's the matter? Was it like a half an ounce? I'd be like, I don't know. I Freeport. So, I might have did a half an ounce and I was like, I'm thinking he's a little bit more. So I don't know. It could be somewhere between a half ounce and 3/4. Who knows? That's hilarious. That's so real.
Look, Mike, I'm at my favorite place in the cigar.
There you go. Transition.
That's my favorite place.
Transition.
How'd you get down that far?
Who, me?
Yeah,
I'm blowing. Mike, where are you? Am I puffing too fast? What am I doing?
No, we're about the same place.
Okay, all right.
I'm not talking too much. I talk too much.
We're about the same place. Big shouts out to Especiales Cigars, Especiales Cigar Lounge. They're showing us love tonight. BT and Laquan over there. Keith, George, Gary over at Patio Cigars. Shout out to them. Conrad, they're having
Keith Weaver.
Yeah.
Or Cigaros?
Other Keith Weaver. Yeah, Cigaros is having a watch party for us tonight. So thanks, Conrad.
What's up, Conrad?
Everybody over at Cigar. Life and Times.
I said I would do a giveaway tonight.
Oh man.
Because there are a couple of cigar groups and some bourbon societies that are watching us tonight and that have been watching us all of our shows. And so I wanted to reward them a little bit.
Come on now.
Here's how it's gonna work, okay?
All right.
So, is everybody listening? Drum roll, please.
Let's get it.
I'm gonna send you this cocktail as a cocktail kit with a swag box from Uncle Nearest right to your door. And I'm gonna, since I know there are 7 cigar groups and bourbon societies watching, the first 7 people that hit up my direct messages, whether if you're watching on YouTube, you guys can go to Instagram. I'm Sailor Retro on Instagram, and if you're on Facebook, I'm Sailor Guevara. I'm easy to find. So the first 7 people, I'm gonna send you a cocktail kit with the instructions and then a little Zoom link. And so I'll Zoom with you personally and walk you through making the cocktail if you need it. And then a bunch of really awesome swag from Uncle Nearest. So hurry up and get in there.
I think Kevin Walker, Texas Cigar Aficionados are watching. The Houston crew, Attica, Tobacconist AJ, Attica, and everybody out of Houston, they're watching right now.
Houston, all right.
Houston. Speaking of Houston, I want to tell you guys something about Houston and Las Vegas. Anybody watching from these places, I want to give you some really awesome information. So Houston, we have, if you go to our videos when we're done with this in our Uncle Nearest Facebook page or on the Pound the Rock YouTube, last night we introduced our new brand ambassador for Houston, and her name is Zalika, and she's incredible. She's wonderful. And so we have someone right there on site in Houston to take care of all of your Uncle Nearest needs, and she's just so great. So, and then we also have a new brand ambassador in Las Vegas, and his name is Dwayne. And I spoke with him today. He is absolutely wonderful. And if you are originally a New Yorker like me, what up, New York? And so he is with the bright lights and the showgirls, and
shout out to Dwayne.
Things will get better soon. So Dwayne, God bless you. I think they're all on hiatus.
Yay!
But,
or they're wearing masks. Either one, for sure. It's all good.
Masks,
I put them both on here. So Zalika out in Houston and Dwayne in Las Vegas. Freddie Johnson just joined us.
Freddie. Okay.
I look forward to meeting both
about Freddie? Do you want to hear a story about Freddie? Yes. We're not worthy. Let's do that for Freddie Johnson. Okay.
We're ready for Freddie.
Evening, sir. How are you doing, sir?
Freddie knows how much I love him. And one of the highlights of my career is one day Freddie responded to a Facebook post and said, "Sailor, you make Freddie proud." And I about fell on the floor, because in every career you have a person inspired you, right? And so when I was a young little Padawan and I was at a tasting bar in a distillery and, figuring out how do you make a living from whiskey alone, I would drive from Dayton, Ohio, New Carlisle to be specific, from Indian Creek Distillery.
Wow.
A little tiny farm distillery. And I would drive all the way down to Buffalo Trace about once a week for a long time, let's just say. And I would this is before you had to book a tour with Freddie. It was in the days when you could just show up and get on one. I would be like, oh no, I'll wait for the next tour. When Freddie's leading that tour at Buffalo Trace, and I would just watch
Gotta wait for
and
Freddie.
I would listen to everything he did, and I would write it down, I would take notes, and I learned so much about whiskey, about how to host people in a distillery, about how to talk about the experience and how to translate that experience, and how to make people who think they know everything about whiskey excited and the newbies excited at the same time. Like, what a talent is that you get all of these different levels of people and you bring them something new, but you've also been so down to earth that the people who are not well versed in whiskey yet know what you're talking about. And that's Freddie Johnson. And he was also
the man is a master storyteller.
I mean, he is absolutely
an all around cool ass dude.
American whiskey royalty. He's bourbon royalty.
Amen.
And
right
he helped open the door for diversity in American whiskey, which is so important. So thank you, Freddie Johnson, for being. If you guys don't know who Freddie Johnson is, there is a beautiful documentary done. And there was a year where I wouldn't talk about it because I didn't want to open up our beautiful world, which I know sounds weird, but it's called Bourbon Neat, or it's called Neat, sorry.
Yep.
Google it.
Was that on Amazon? What was it on? Was it on Amazon or?
I think it might be on YouTube by now, but it was on Amazon.
Okay.
I cried through the whole flipping thing the first time I watched it. It was the first time someone had done a documentary about the American whiskey industry from the inside. It let people into the inside, and I thought, oh my gosh, once this happens, there's going to be no more showing up for a Freddie tour. And of course, you have to book like months in advance now. And that's a beautiful thing, but I cry every time I watch the dang thing. So watch the movie Neat, and you will really understand who Freddie Johnson is and the legacy of Freddie Johnson. And he is a very, very dear friend to our brand, Uncle Nearest, as well. So
I will watch.
We love you, Freddie.
Yeah.
To meet Freddie.
I met him. What was it? Last year we were in Louisville for the Bourbon and Beyond, and he was up on stage with Fawn, and then came down. And I mean, it was just like, you know, and the fact that who he is, and just being able to talk to him like he's. I mean, I talked to him like he was my uncle. He was real cool, and I was like, man, I got to get my dad because my dad's in Cincinnati, Ohio. I was like, next time I go home, damn you, COVID. Next time I go home, we'll get in the car with Dad. We're gonna make our way down to Kentucky and come hang out with Freddie and go on a tour with him. So he's like, man, just give me a call, just like that. I was like, dude,
that's Freddie.
Exactly. Yeah.
Zalika says that Neat. She said it's amazing and it's on Hulu.
Oh, thank you, Zalika.
Hulu. I knew it. Okay, yes. Hulu.
Yes.
Hulu. I know Hulu. One of those big
girls. Zalika. Zalika's gonna do.
Way to be there, Zalika.
Watch. I want you guys to go right now. I want you to friend her, or when this broadcast is over, I want you to friend Zalika because she's
you ready, Zalika?
Watch.
Gotta go crazy.
Watch.
We'll put this sucker in here right now.
I know it.
Is Zalika gonna smoke a cigar? That's what I want to know.
Yes, let's get Zalika on with us next time.
Wait a minute. The gentleman, was it Dwayne in Vegas?
Dwayne Fernandez. Yep.
Yes.
Dwayne, we got to get you.
Yes, we'll get Dwayne on as well. Yes.
Go by and see my friends Shara and Mikey over at Fuego in Henderson or Sahara. And if you don't smoke, they'll get you started right. And if you do smoke, you should already know where they are.
He's new to Vegas.
Great guy.
Good point.
He's new to Vegas and new to Uncle Nearest. So this is the loudest, the most wind we've ever had. There's dogs barking, airplanes flying.
Do you live near an airport?
No.
You would think I do.
We don't even get weather here. I don't even know what's happening right now. Anyway,
everybody's hitting you being on the air.
Please give Dwayne some love because he's new to the area and he could use a lot of friends. So, and he's so smart and so experienced, and he's a veteran in the industry, and he's going to do big things for us as well. We're just so excited, you guys, for all the new people who have joined us. And how amazing is it that our brand has been hiring during the pandemic? Like, that says
crazy,
so much about our brand, right? So much.
Shout out to Fawn and Keith. Hallelujah. Thank you, Kate. Thank you, Steve-O. Dave Harps. Shout out to Cronkite. Yeah.
I got a microphone and headset. I don't know if you got
you are an important part of our whiskey family.
So Amazon screwed my order up. So yeah, well, next broadcast I should be good. Then you can see all the cool stuff that I'm able to get, so we can make this thing look way better. But yeah, you look good, Mike. You look good. I mean, the rose-colored glasses, the headphones, the mic sounds nice. Check one, you're good.
Sounds nice. Check one.
There you go.
Our next broadcast, you guys, we're gonna have watch parties again from all over the country. If you joined us last month, you will know that we had Richie Michaels, our national brand ambassador. He popped in.
Big ups, Richie. Big up.
Is he in Indiana? Because he's in Louisville.
He was, he went right across the river. Yeah.
And then we had Drew Stein with us, and he was in Indianapolis. And we had all across the country. We had all people all across the country. So we'll do that again for the next one. And if you guys want to host an Uncle Nearest watch party, just message us and we'll get you hooked up. Super fun.
And this, we'll just put this in the realm of possibilities. So maybe the next one, if they send me the cocktail, maybe I'll go somewhere live and maybe I'll make it behind somebody's bar.
Dude, that'd be hilarious.
Maybe
you might come out of the house if you do that. I may come out in my spacesuit.
Maybe Jay will make it behind somebody else's bar.
So
we'll see about that. We'll put on this spacesuit and see what's up.
What about Parlor?
Parlor's always good. Absolutely. Parlor's always good, definitely. And then they can go outside because they're doing the shout outs to Audie and Alfonso. They're doing the outside on the patio out in the parking lot. They're doing smoking cigars out there. So that might be doable for sure.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
And I'm sorry. Shouts out to Julius, Lonzo, all those guys over at Cigar City Club as well. They're over there drinking.
Oh yeah. Cigar City, big ups. Good looking out for it too, by the way.
We got to work on the next cocktail.
And I'm telling you, when we go to Memphis, we got to go to the G-Spot.
We might do a salad.
Greg, those guys are always drinking Uncle Nearest.
Oh,
Speedy,
all good at the G-Spot.
Where's Speedy at?
Yeah, Speedy's in Nashville. Where's the Speedy? There's a spot. I know, but there's a Speedy gonna kill me. There's this Mike. What's the spot that we talked to? The guy that we spoke to. What's the name of the place? Come on, Mike, help me out.
Where's that?
The brother who hit me up. Oh, yeah, exactly.
Julian, Battleground.
Battleground. There you go. Hallelujah. Yes. Yeah. So Julian. Let's work on getting Speedy over there with Julian at Battleground. That'll be dope. That'll be really cool. Yeah. So I mean, we definitely want to make sure we plug folks in because last time having Richie on was awesome. We kicked back, had a good freaking time. So that'll be cool for us to plug in our ambassadors and zip zop zoop. You know what I'm saying? And have them puffing and smoking and talking Uncle Nearest and having a good freaking time, man. What else we got to do right now? All hell's breaking loose. I'm getting ready to take the kids go back to school, virtual learning. Not looking forward to that, but we'll be fine. A lot more Uncle Nearest and cigars to help out.
That's it. And when you go to Nashville, when Speedy goes over there, then we'll hit up Terry and Sam's and get them to go down there. Big Uncle Nearest supporters. And also shouts out to everybody who's on who's going to be on the Zoom call this weekend. So we have a group of about 25 people that booked a private Zoom call with me, and every one of them purchased a package, and everyone has purchased a bottle of Uncle Nearest to pair. So we're going to do.
I want to be on the Zoom call. Can I join?
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll plug you in. We'll have you and Jay come in as well.
But I love that.
So shouts out to all of them. We appreciate them.
Tag team back again.
That's amazing. So I love it.
We had, who is this? This is B. Taz Daniel said he missed it, but wants a recap of the cigar and cocktail. If you scroll up, I know we definitely talked about the cocktail and the cigar. We're definitely smoking. Yeah, we're definitely smoking the Especiales by Cigar Mike. And Mike, you can just give a little quick synopsis, a little summary of your dope cigar. And then we're drinking the El Fuego that came to us directly from Sailor. That is delicious cocktail. Nice, simple, easy, a grown folks cocktail, and definitely a real boozy. So it goes well with the cigar. Nice flavors in here. So I'll let them.
Right?
Yeah. I'll let them go ahead. So I'm dropping stuff over here. What the heck? But Mike, talk about your cigar real fast, brother.
Brand Especial cigar by Cigar Mike. It's a Ecuadorian Maduro wrapper, Nicaraguan filler, Nicaraguan binder. It's going to be a medium plus cigar. Most anybody can smoke it. And, of course, very good with cocktails because I like drinking. So wanted to have a cigar that could go with most of the stuff that I'm going to potentially consume. And just kind of everything works out. It was great with
everything works out.
A question, Mike?
Sure.
Because my husband was born in Ecuador and my last name is Guevara. Where in Ecuador is the tobacco growing place? Because Ecuador has literally every climate possible.
Right. So there are different regions in Ecuador too. So they're growing tobacco in several regions in Ecuador.
Okay.
And I particularly don't know exactly. That's a question for Mr. Rosario, Don Kiki, but they put out an excellent product, and I'm very pleased with it. And I love this wrapper because the wrapper is delicious. So
it really is.
Smoke, and you're sitting there and you're almost chewing on the wrapper because it's just good. So you always want something that's going to add to the flavor of the cigar, and this one definitely does.
Oh,
cool. Okay, awesome. So, we talked about volcanic soil before, right? Countries with volcanic soil, and so that is a huge thing for tequila. I'm not a tequila person, but I love brown spirits, and as a bartender, you have to learn about all the categories. And I learned the differences between the volcanic soil. And so, do you feel like that has a lot of effect on the flavors of the cigar, the fillers in there?
Well, everything has an effect, and anything concerned with the particular climate has an effect. So, okay, so let's say 1, 2, 3. Let's say 3 sections of a tobacco tree, Viso Seco Lajero. So we'll take Esteli because I know a little bit more about Esteli than I do about some of the other areas. So you have Esteli, you have Condega, you have Jalapa. So remember, you're going to grow that one tree in 3 different areas. So something may be closer to water, something may have a more volcanic soil, but that blender, remember that genius guy that's sitting in there, he's taking components from each of those places and saying, I want this from Condega because of its region. I want this from Jalapa, and I want this from Esteli. And you're going to put all those things together, and that's part of the blend and the makeup of the cigar. So something may have came from a more volcanic area. One component may come from a more lower lying area closer to water. One may be just a higher area, a hilly area, or something like that. So everything plays a part when it comes to the climate, because that's what makes it pretty different than the other.
Just like whiskey. I'm literally Mike. Again, I'm flipping out because before Uncle Nearest, when I have the time, I do it. I teach whiskey history classes, and I like to talk about physically how whiskey traveled, right? Historically. And oh my gosh, okay, so for example, tonight we have a bourbon cocktail with a Scotch float. And I talked about how I don't love, for me, like low-lying peat because it's too briny and it gives me that moldy feeling. That's subjective, though. That's just my taste profile. I like Highland peat, right? It's so similar to cigars because also like rye. Well, which rye? You can't just say I like rye whiskey or I don't like rye whiskey. Well, what kind of rye? Is it rye that came from elevation? Again, like tequila, like agave, like tobacco leaves, like everything you just said, I could totally connect that to whiskey. So, where is your grain grown, your terroir? So just like grapes and wine, right? You can grow a Merlot grape next to the ocean and you can grow it in the Alps and it's going to taste totally different. That's so exciting to me that we have that relationship and you can taste that terroir and everything is it's so incredibly important, which is why our categories are so important. Beautiful Irish whiskeys. Someone actually just said, I'm gonna not curse despondently, crappy Irish whiskey. I'll name no names and I'm looking forward to Uncle Nearest. So Rich KRC, I would say to you, you may not have found the right Irish whiskeys because there's beauty in every category, right? So for me, Redbreast, I am obsessed with Redbreast. Redbreast 12 is accessible, delicious. If you want to taste a fruit basket in a glass, so smooth.
Right on.
I tell you what I found. Not that Sexton was my next. Sexton is nice, and it's priced very good. It's like every day, just gonna have a little sip after work.
Yeah, daily drinker. Yeah,
and the bottle's cool. So
yeah, it's in an octagonal bottle, and it's a black octagonal bottle, and has a skull on it. But it's actually named after what Sextons were. And so as you turn the bottle, you read the story, which is so cool, about the people who protected graves back in the day. So it's really super cool. So I would and also Tullamore Dew is such a beautiful product, you guys. Again, just like anything, like any bourbon, there's Uncle Nearest in Tennessee, right? There's also Jack Daniels. There's also George Dickel. And we don't all taste the same. We taste so different because we do things. So yes, we do the same basic processes, but like a cigar, they don't all taste the same. No. Nor does any spirit, because we all do things differently, and that just it just creates so much beauty and so much interest. And for different palates, you will find something you like ultimately.
Amen.
Because there's something for every palate, right?
And I'm so glad that we have it within our house is the fantastic and phenomenal Sherry Moore. I just gave her a shout on here. The reason why our whiskey is so freaking amazing and award winning, and not just because I'm talking stuff, but hey, big up Sherry. But the fact that we're the most awarded American whiskey of 2019, and I'm telling people forget it, 2022, because we're that daggone dope, and no one's gonna catch us at this point in time. So, but big ups to Sherry Moore, because Sherry is the brains behind this thing, in order to going through the process, and then also to our filtration processes, which are proprietary, which make Uncle Nearest what it is. The fact that we take what we have and turn it into something so freaking beautiful. It's like what Nearest Green was doing back in the day, like turning water into liquid gold. So, big ups to Sherry Moore and everybody at the distillery who does their thing and makes us who we are. I mean, you make it really, 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 really easy to sell this, because it's so daggone good.
The people that might not know who Sherry Moore is, I feel like it's really important.
Come on, tell them.
So you have different components of owning a spirits brand, right? You have the people who are up front, and they are very important. Our CEO and our founder, Fawn Weaver, is of course, an incredibly important person. And then you have our master blender, Victoria Edie Butler. She is a descendant of Nearest Green, incredibly important. You have Kate Jerkins, who is our global VP of sales. She runs the machine. She's so important. Sherry Moore. She is. Most people who have the title Director of Whiskey Production. Do you know what that means? It took me a long time of being in this industry to understand what that meant, because everybody goes, master distiller. Guess what? There's a boss of a master distiller in the production, and that is the Director of Whiskey Production. So they literally direct every single part of the process, from grain to bottle. Boom, that's them. They're overseeing all of it. Can you imagine the amount of knowledge you have, the amount of expertise, education, experience, all of it? Sherry is incredible.
And the coolest whiskey nerd ever.
Literally. So she oversaw, before she came to us, and that's another brilliance of Fawn Weaver, she oversaw a global brand, the most recognized global brand in spirits and in everything, period, around the entire world. She oversaw that brand. And now she does that for us. So we are so lucky that being a brand new, a couple years ago, now we're a couple years old, we had the utmost expert in Tennessee whiskey, and I would say a top expert of American whiskey, but the most formidable expert in Tennessee whiskey oversees our juice, oversees our process. We're so blessed.
So I'll just tell you straight out, folks, when you say that, I'll be real quick. Sherry Moore was Director of Whiskey Operations at Jack Daniels and retired, was out the game, came out of retirement, and is now working with us at Uncle Nearest. And the real cool thing is that she's a descendant of the Motlows. The Motlow boys were the ones who took over after Jack Daniels passed away. So she's a descendant of that line, that lineage. And then
that's
for
the
her,
original family name.
Right. One of her family friends that she grew up with is none other than Victoria Edie Butler. So you got Nearest Green and Jack Daniels who are like this, and you got Sherry Moore and Victoria Edie Butler who are like this. It's history repeating itself, and it's so beautiful to have that under our roof. That's so dope. And I mean, it's real, y'all. It's real. That's why I enjoy drinking this and talking the story and telling everything. It's it comes from up above. It's beautiful.
Look at this guy. I want to do two things.
Come on.
Yes, please.
I got to give a shout out to the guys that are part of Team UN, that are part of the Uncle Nearest team. But they have a lot of chicks that rock. I love Team.
Oh, shoot!
You talking about
all the chicks rock?
A whole bunch of boss chicks in one place. I mean,
you ain't lying.
Forgive my verbiage, but I've met most of them. Everybody's super cool, super knowledgeable. I mean, just knowledge just falling out. Just general conversation. I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Can I record this? I need to take this note and everything. Sailor, Sherry, Fawn, Victoria. They got a bunch of boss chicks. The product is amazing. And the reason why it's amazing is a bunch of boss chicks. Got to say that. Shouts out to all the guys, though. We love you, but the women are killing it.
I feel like the guys have had their time. Y'all have had your time. The women have always been like, oh, it's the woman behind the man.
I'm totally cool with that.
So right now it's the woman in front
because you are doing
the
so
man.
much better.
We're still taking care of y'all, but we're running the show out front. So our CEO and founder is a woman, and our director of whiskey production is a woman, and our master blender
my boss wears boots.
And our global VP of sales is a woman. I mean, we are woman run, and I'll tell you what, we make this joke about people say, "Oh my God, you're growing so fast," and sometimes I say at breakneck speed because it can feel like that to us. And then and then other women I talk to are like, well, of course, you're run by women. Of course you're moving this fast. We can do 50 things at once.
Oh.
With excellence.
You know what? I never really thought about that.
What?
Yeah.
Your wife is going to come. She's gonna,
great multitaskers. Yes. Just going like a million miles an hour. I look at my wife and I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
Okay?
How do you do this?
Yes.
Yeah.
My husband does that a lot too.
Yeah. Shoot. Keep doing it because there's no way in the world I could do it. Absolutely not.
Alicia McGee is having an amazing time. She's going nuts over here.
Get down.
She's in Clarksville, Tennessee, and she is absolutely in love with the 1884. And incidentally, she was instrumental in putting together that Zoom and having everybody buy the 1884.
Yay! Oh, Alicia.
Oh, right on.
Tennessee is in the
house tonight. That's awesome.
She is representing.
That's awesome.
Brandy Wheat should be somewhere around here, Chi-Town, Chicago.
Brandy up in Chi, right on.
Chi-Town.
She's my new friend. What's up, Brandy? What's up to? Where the heck is where the heck is Chastity too? Where's Chastity?
I don't know.
Chastity, we're sending Chastity a shout out on here. Chastity, where the heck are you at, lady?
From her birthday, she's recovering from her birthday month.
She's still hangover for the birthday. Her and Victoria rocked out.
Birthday month. And Lolo, both of them.
Okay.
Right on. Low for sure, though.
So, do you know what, you guys? Just a tiny piece of history. Do you know who the first distillers were in history?
They probably look like me. I'm just making a wild guess.
No, as women. That's where I was going with that.
You sure?
Yeah, we were called witches.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, were they way back, like maybe coming out of Egypt or something like that?
First. Well,
right.
Yeah, so the first recorded, I would say, it was a kitchen product, and then even modern past history, however you want to call it, before things were regulated, let's say, it was considered a kitchen product. You would use your excess grain, and your excess grain. Okay, imagine you don't have plastic, you don't have metal and things like that to contain stuff. You can put stuff in wood boxes, but it's still going to get moldy or vermin is going to get in there. So what you would do with your excess grain is you would distill it, and you would make a spirit out of it. And so that was just considered a kitchen product. And there were beer witches.
Witches.
We were called witches, but that because you knew how to distill.
Because they would make you have good spirits.
To medicine. All medicine is distilled.
That'd be like witches.
Good point. That's right.
I mean, you want to be friends with these ladies, right?
Right?
Yes. As I continue to do right now. Yes, I want to be friends with all the ladies. Because I'd be in some serious trouble without you, for darn sure. Hallelujah.
So the history of whiskey cannot be just connected to white men, as what modern history will tell you is not a fact. It is women, it is people of color, and it is all walks of life around the globe that were distilling and making wines and beers and distilled products, and whether it was for medicinal purposes or for drinking purposes. You're welcome.
Yes.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
As a Greek girl, you're welcome.
We love it. We love it here.
Pamela asked a quick question since you're dropping knowledge right here. Pamela asked, "What's the difference between 1884 and 1856?" So after you take that last puff on that cigar, tell me what's the difference between 1884 and 1856, sailor.
I'm glad you asked that because I wanted to bring this up, and I'll tell you why. Last night, we had our amazing national brand ambassador, Richie Michaels, and he was on going through the steps of the what Tennessee whiskey is. Why is the Lincoln County process so different? What's the difference about it? What's the truth about it? And he does, I wanted to see him do this in person, and I didn't get to because of COVID, but I want to learn exactly how he spells it out and replicate it, of course, because it's such an interesting and important topic, especially for us. So every time we get on one of these, we could be talking about who knows what, and someone inevitably will go, "Hey, where can I find 1820?" Even if that's not the topic.
Every time.
And we're all just like, "Oh my God, 1820, right?" Okay. And I'm going to relate this to 1856. I have a reason for talking about this. 1820 is a single barrel, meaning it's world-class single barrel, okay? Most distilleries have a single barrel process. They have a program. And they set certain barrels aside, and they go, every year we have this many single barrels, and then, they might increase it the next year depending on demand, and at this point in time, they're going to release it, and each state's get allocated, and some, important accounts will get their own whatever. We do not work like that. And so when you say, I can't find it on the shelves, you're never going to see it on the shelf. It doesn't work like that. We're literally taking 1% of our barrels. Sherry Moore.
1%. No, say that. 1% of our barrels.
1%. 1% is not enough to give one barrel to every 50 states. Just so you understand. Impossible. We do our best, but we're not. It's not a single barrel program. We're looking for world class barrels, and they win every time. It is world class whiskey. So, just so you understand that. But what we did, you guys, what I want you to understand is 1856 is basically a single barrel whiskey in every bottle, right? Of course, it's not a single barrel, but it gives you the proof level, the flavor, and the excellence. And it beats out most single barrels. And that's our flagship, you guys. You can find that in all of your stores. Ask your stores to bring it in. Easy to find. Our flagship whiskey, the 1856. It's 100 proof.
I thought you just said 1856 usually beats out most other single barrels in regards to rewards. Is that right? Did you say that?
Yes,
okay. I just want to make sure you said that. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, there's a fact. There's an actual fact. Because we are the most awarded American whiskey and or bourbon. Period. Boom. So
sorry for the interruption. Please continue. I'm sorry.
If you want to, I'm a whiskey lover, right? If you come into my house, you're gonna see our shelf. I have shelves and shelves and shelves of every category, right? I don't collect whiskey. We drink it, but anyway, you know what I mean. You don't drink just one thing, right? You drink a lot of different types. Okay. So single barrels, everybody wants them because they're going to be superior, right? Or that's the idea of it. And usually they are. Correct. Our 1856, you guys, is a single barrel quality. It is a single barrel level of proof, right? Proof level. So you're getting that every time you drink 1856. And our leadership was very intentional about that. We wanted to give excellence every time. Okay, so that is our 1856. You guys, every time at 100 proof, with all that full flavor, but so smooth you don't even realize it's 100 proof. You are drinking single barrel quality. Okay? That's what we wanted to come out of the gate with. Then we came out with 1884. 1884 is 93 proof, which is a historic proof, by the way. So this is what he would have been proofed at in the year of 1884. In the mid to late 1800s to early 1900s, there was a standard proof before 80 became a standard proof level. 93. That's how we got to that. But again, you guys, the higher the proof, the more flavor you're going to get out of it. So this, again, is excellence in a bottle. But this one is blended. And blended used to be a very bad word in whiskey, and we covered this last night. It is not a bad word. The level of expertise it takes to blend whiskey and make it consistent every time is unbelievable. So the poo-poo about blended whiskey came really from Canadian whiskey. And it came from Prohibition. And it was an unfair tag that got connected to whiskey, right? But blending is a superior process. Because what you're doing is you're going, whoa, these barrels have this flavor and these have this. And if I put them together, it's like a tomato sauce or chili or whatever you want to equate it to, like a cocktail. Like, I've just taken all of the things that shine, all of the rock stars, and put them together in one product. Boom.
That's right.
This is superior. And we take the best of the barrels, we blend them, and then there's all these blends. And Victoria E.D. Butler, who is the descendant of Uncle Nearest Green,
that's right.
She tastes them and decides this is the batch right here. This is it. So you're getting a small batch. We can only do this in small quantities, right? So that is just as special as the 1856. And small batches, if you look at the major brands that have, 10 to 14 different expressions in their line, they have a bunch of standards, and then they have a small batch and a single barrel. And we're giving you that, boom, right out of the gate. We're giving you a superior small batch, which is award-winning, picked up golds, chairman's trophies out of the gate, and a single barrel whiskey in an everyday bottle. Who does that? That makes us very unique.
Let the dog out. That was it. Right on cue. That was perfect. Who does that? We do.
So with this information, I have a question. So, in my opinion, this is what it is. And Dorna says, "Preach it, sailors. We love it." So when it comes to a small batch and the blending of a small batch, I would think that it comes very much down to ratios. How much of this, how much of this, how much of this are we going to take to make this, and then being able to reproduce that consistently?
Can you imagine? Can you
crazy.
Imagine what that takes? So that is Sherry Moore first and foremost, to recognize. So the first time they put these batches together, the idea was we're going to have a different descendant curate each batch. Victoria, it turned out to be, she was award-winning out of the gates, right? So you get to know Victoria's palate. These are the things that she tasted, and it's all blind, right, in the whiskey. So now you have to match that. So Sherry has to know, this is what I'm going to pick. And then Fawn and Keith taste it as well, and then it gets to Victoria. And so every batch, there's nuances, but it's the same whiskey, but there are nuances because it's a different batch every time. That takes an incredible palate and expertise and talent to do that. Far superior to just a standard whiskey, right? Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it's just superior. And so that's the differences between our two whiskeys. So you need both. And I'm not just saying that because I work for Uncle Nearest, because I'm super honest and I'm very upfront. I always want to taste the single barrel, right? Always. Who doesn't want the single barrel? You get that in 1856. Essentially, even though it's not, that's what it is, right? But you also want to taste that small batch because you know it's been hand curated. So imagine both of our on-the-shelf, easy-to-find whiskeys give you both of that. You guys, the story of our brand is incredible. Yes, 100%. But guess what comes before that story? What if you don't know that story? Why would you get it off the shelf? If you taste it without knowing the story, why would you fall in love with it? Because the whiskey speaks for itself. It's
gotta be the juice in that bottle, baby. Period. That's right.
So check this out. Let's have some fun. So, and we're just going basically here with the three components of a cigar. Let's say, three different areas of the tree: Viso, Seco, Ligero. You know, it plays a very important part in the final product. Ratios.
No. Ratios, yes.
How much Ligero, how much Viso, how much Seco. That is what makes one cigar different than another.
Wow. It's so crazy the similarities between cigars and whiskey or bourbon. You know, that's crazy.
What got me so excited. Right, yeah, and you have blenders, and your blenders
have
that palate, the knowledge. It takes so many things. Like I mean, so for some of us, our ultimate goal as brand ambassadors is to be a master distiller or be a master blender. For me, I'd rather be a master blender and just be. I mean, the pressure. I can't even. The pressure, but it seems so exciting. Like maybe one day I'll do a sailor's blend. I don't know, but the pressure would probably kill me because I'm a perfectionist. But I don't know, everything it takes to do that. And here you have Victoria, who didn't come from the industry, and that was solely her palate, award-winning. Her palate is award-winning.
It's in her blood, truly in her blood. So I don't know if I can ever be close to even being a master blender or a master distiller. But is there like a class? And I know I've been asking before. Can I get certification to be like a master taster, a master? You know?
Are you kidding? Really?
Yeah. Can I be like
the first female master taster in the world?
Oh, okay. Well, I'm just not necessarily being able to have such a distinguished and sophisticated palate, but just have the ability to taste a lot of different stuff and say whether it's good or not. Yes.
You're trying to get me fired, Jay. Jay wants my.
I'm sorry. My bad.
I am a master taster.
Okay.
There are spirits that need to be tasted, then you can fly me.
You know how important that is? No joke. To be a master taster. Yeah. So anytime you see a whiskey review, and there's a lot of people that go like, "Oh, whiskey reviewers." No. They are crucial for us. So all of you whiskey tasters, like the people who just write about it and they're just giving their subjective reviews. As a collective, that's so important, right? The first female master taster in the entire world, Peggy No Stevens. She's another friend.
Peggy, that's one of the homies.
Peggy, she is one of our homies. She's incredible. Right. She didn't even know there wasn't a woman out there that was a master taster, but that is a legitimate thing. That's an absolute legitimate thing. So people who have the experience and the knowledge and the expertise and the palate to taste are important to us, because you could put out your product and go, "This is great," and then 50 people taste it and only 45 say it's great. Guess what? That's going to mask your population, right? That's going to be the minority or the majority of people, of your consumers. So they're very, very important. In cigars, right?
Holy crap. You know what? We have been running our mouths for, what is this, like an hour and 45, 47 minutes? Holy crap. We're dropping some serious knowledge here and having some good time. This has got to be one of the best, longest shows we've ever had in our lives. And out of that, but we're having a good time. And let me tell you, folks, most importantly, Jay has not gotten any mosquito bites out here. So that's really, really cool. I just want to make sure I put that out there right now as a form of entertainment, because usually staying out here this darn late,
jumping around
in Georgia, in Atlanta, oh man, I'd be eaten alive. So hey, shout outs to me for not getting eaten up. Thank you so much for this beautiful evening. And I've learned a whole lot. Like, I did not know so much was similar between cigars and whiskey and bourbon. I mean, I had no freaking clue. You dropped some serious info right here. And the fact that we're able to do that and then talk about Mike's cigar, that was cool. I mean, that's just like the perfect match right there.
Finally,
you know what I'm saying?
Cigar. Come on.
Especiales. So awesome.
Yeah,
that's good stuff right there, brother.
So somebody asked where they can find it in Atlanta, and it is at all the places that we mentioned. It's at Cigarros, it's at the Patio, it is at
literally everywhere.
City Cigars, it's at King Cigars, Highland. Yeah, there are several places around that you can find the brand Especiales by Cigar Mike.
Excellent.
I appreciate you.
Excellent.
Pamela Moore is stating she's having an absolutely amazing time, and she says thank you for all this information. She's having a great time. Pam's in Tennessee as well. The Tennessee crew.
Oh, right on.
Awesome. Love it.
Oh, Victoria just jumped on too. Real fast, Mike. If you were to go into one of these cigar spots and get your cigar, which expression would you like to drink? Just if those people are serious whiskey drinkers too. If you were drinking neat, which one would you go for? 1884 or 1856?
Okay, me personally,
yes.
1856. As a brand owner and relative to the people who might smoke my cigar, most of them would probably enjoy the 1884 better. A little bit more complexity, a little bit more caramel, that kind of thing, and it will go for somebody that's not as experienced. That one would go better. Me, I like the burn. Yeah, I'm 100 proof dude. You know what I'm saying?
All the way.
So, we call it warm.
Warm.
Sorry. Tennessee
we call it warm. We're translating. It's the
feels
warm.
good right here.
The Tennessee hug, right here. It's called the Tennessee hug.
There it is.
You, right?
It's essential.
All up in there. It's right. It's in right here.
All right. On that note,
all up in there.
I think it's time to wrap it up. I'm gonna pee so bad. And I don't want to on a live broadcast.
That just happened.
It's always like that.
Keeping it real. Just keeping it real.
You know it's real.
Sailor's
gotta go.
100 proof.
Yes.
This has been so fun and so amazing. Mike, I'm so glad we got to showcase your cigar. And maybe one day we'll have an Uncle Nearest cigar. Wouldn't that be so fun?
Watch out now.
Yeah.
We're working on it right now.
Let's do it. And everybody who tuned in tonight, I can't wait to check my messages and see who won on the giveaways. So again, I haven't checked my messages yet, but I'm doing a giveaway tonight. So the first 7 people that messaged me on Facebook or Instagram, I will send you a cocktail kit of the El Fuego, which we featured tonight, and a bunch of Uncle Nearest goodies. So hurry up and message me. And we will be back in a couple weeks. We do this once a month. So please stay tuned to unclenearest.com/live. And that's when you find out about all these broadcasts. And next time we're going to do this with virtual watch parties all over the country. And we're going to have so much fun. We're going to pop in a bunch of our other brand ambassadors. And that'll be a blast.
It's going down.
It's going to be pandemonium. It's going to be pandemonium.
I love it.
Good pandemonium. Yes,
it'll
indeed.
Be September, you guys. So it'll kind of be hopefully cool. Well, it doesn't get cool till October, but anyway, we'll be closer to the cool weather. So
we'll see what's up for sure. And I want to make sure we check into it, all the people who tune in and stuff like that, so that we see everyone who's going out and getting Uncle Nearest is getting on with us and having some fun and making the cocktails with us. I want to make sure we're engaging with you all, making sure that we're doing something that's I guess beneficial for you all too, not just up here talking about Uncle Nearest all day or talking about cigars and stuff like that, but just really truly having a good time connecting with you all, making sure, because not a lot of folks are doing that. So big ups to us for doing that, for sure. Great job, Taylor. Great job, Haley.
Everybody. If there's certain things you want to know, like Pamela asked about the difference between 1884 and 1856. If you want to ask about the cigars or the cocktail, if you're new to cigars, if you're a cigar aficionado, new to cocktails or whiskey, we want to hear from all of you. What level are you at? So get prepared for next time, and I can't wait. Thank you, Mike, so much as always for being with us tonight and guiding us on this journey. It's amazing. So
all my cigar guys, remember, follow these guys on Instagram. Follow Sailor. Follow J Man on the Rocks on Instagram. They have some real cool stuff on their page. They always have cool stuff on their page. So,
sometimes Sailor definitely has more cool stuff than I do.
I think I do.
Jay's got all kinds of cool stuff on his page. So remember to follow them on Instagram. And then for the people in other places in Houston, where the new brand ambassador is, as well as out in Las Vegas, my people out there follow the new cats. If they're party team you in, trust me, they're good people.
Right on.
Heck yeah.
Right on. Big ups.
Thanks so much, everybody. So I'm going to say goodnight. And Finn is very upset that I have not acknowledged him this entire time. So Finn, the golden retriever next door, is mad at me. But thank you,
go give him
everybody,
some
for
treats
tuning
and
in.
some Uncle Nearest.
I'm going to have to do the different cookies. Yeah,
we know the Sam's here. We know he's here.
Well, love you guys.
Right on.
Drink honorably.
Love y'all. Peace out. Drink honorably, everyone, always. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Love y'all. Must See Whiskey TV, Thursday at 8.